started. Welcome to our Driven Mary Kay University. You might be new, and so you're brand new to your Mary Kay business. Your starter kit just got here, and maybe you've just done a few parties. So welcome to Mary Kay University. You might be seasoned or taking university again, and it has been said that we need to be reminded more than we need to be instructed. So this will be a great reminder for you, and I believe that staying in that reminder zone, really, school is never out for the pro. The moment you feel or you think that you know it all, it starts to go away. So always stay humble and feel like there's more for me to learn. If you are a director or a future sales director, I want you to watch how I teach the material and take notes to learn how to teach, okay? And so if you're like, oh, I know this about booking, I know this about, I want you to watch how I teach. That's your job as a director or a future director, if it's in your plans to be a director or future director, okay? Now, this is a 6-week course that's gonna take you through the basics of starting your Mary Kay business, and I just wanna remind you that when you start something new, it takes time to get it and to feel confident and comfortable with feeling like you've got a handle on it. So I just wanna ask you to give yourself some grace. The great news is that Mary Kay is your business, and so you get to take it at your own pace, but you're in business for yourself but not by yourself, and you have this phenomenal coach and cheerleader that came out of your Mary Kay starter kit, and that's your Mary Kay sales director, and she too started her Mary Kay business with a Mary Kay starter kit, and she built her business from the ground up. And so you have a confidant that you can trust in and that you can lean on, okay? So if you have got your notes in front of you, I want you to go to class number 1, and you're gonna see a question at the top, okay? And the question says, why Mary Kay might not work for you? Why will Mary Kay may not work for you? So I want you to be completely honest with yourself, and I'm gonna give you a minute, and this honesty theme is gonna carry out throughout this whole class. And I'm gonna give you a minute, and I really want you to empty yourself of all your fears, all your doubts, all your concerns, that little thought in your mind that sometimes you think of, you're like, no, let me not think about that. I want you to go ahead, and for 1 minute, I want you to journal what you think is gonna hold you back, or what you think is currently hold you back, okay? Now, this is the great thing, is that nobody's looking, nobody is listening to you, nobody's hovering over your paper. You have the privacy of your own space right now, and so I want you to be as honest as you possibly can, okay? And I'm gonna try to play some music. I don't know if I can, but if not, our minute is gonna start right now, okay? Okay, that was a minute. I hope you were able to hear the music. All right, so what did you write down? Okay, I know we can't really interact here. Oh, wait, you don't need to listen to more music. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So what did you write down? Okay, what did you write down? Oh, you know, this may not work for me if I don't find enough time. Or maybe this won't work for me if my husband doesn't support me. Or I'm really concerned about what people think, like I'm afraid to say something to them. Or what if people say no? Or what if I run out of people? And I want you to know whatever you wrote down is 100% valid. It is 100% valid because it is how you feel, and your feelings are extremely valid. But I want you to know that there's actually only one way you can truly fail in Mary Kay, and that is if you quit. And that is your first point, okay? That is if you quit. Truly, there is no measurement of success in Mary Kay other than your goals. And so if your goal is to replace your income and be a work-from-home mom, then you can accomplish that. And if your goal is just to have an additional $50 to go shoe shopping, you can do that. Like, there's no way to say, oh, she's successful and she's not successful. There's really only one way for you to fail, and that is if you quit. Okay, so you have to make a commitment right up front to not quit. And as long as you do that, you will have success. Okay, so we're going to do another exercise together. Okay, again, I want you to write down, and it says it right there, your craziest, wildest, most out of this world Mary Kay dream. If this dream came true, that would be like awesome sauce. It'd be absolutely incredible. You'd definitely impress yourself. Okay, so are you ready? For the next 30 seconds, you're gonna, I'm gonna see if I can play the music again, and you're going to dream for the next 30 seconds and journal it down in that box. Okay, so hopefully you wrote something down. All right, now I want you to look at your box and look at what you wrote down. And I want you to read it out loud to yourself. And I need you to totally trust me right now. Okay, I need you to put your pen down. And I don't know where you are, but I want you to put your pen down. And I want you to close your eyes. That means you can't see me doing this. Okay, close your eyes, close your eyes. And for the next 30 seconds, I want you to close your eyes. Make sure your eyes are closed. I want you to dream of something bigger than you just wrote down on that sheet of paper. I want you to dream of something bigger than what you just wrote down. I know that you're stretching your brain into a zone it normally doesn't go into. It's going to hurt a little bit. Stretch. I want you to go there. I want you to go there and dream of something bigger. Keep going, just a few more seconds. What's bigger than what you wrote down? I know that you know what it is. Okay, now I want you to open your eyes. Open your eyes. Pick up your pen and write it down. Write it down before you forget. Write down what the bigger thing was. Okay, now I have a question for you. What kept you from writing down the second answer the first time I asked? What kept you from writing that down? Why didn't you just go big right from the beginning? And it's because we're so used to living in a world where there's a ceiling, where you can have this, but you can't have that. Where you can do this, but you can't have that. And so when I asked you to write down your biggest, craziest Mary Kay goal, I didn't put a limit on it. Guess who put a limit on it? You did. You held yourself back. No one else held you back. You actually held yourself back. Now, I think that I remember the first time I did this exercise, I was so mad at myself. I was like, why would I do that to myself? Like, I'm a big dreamer. I have big dreams I want to make reality. And that's because we've been so conditioned to holding ourselves back. That's what this environment, this world teaches us, that you can have your cake, but you can't eat it, right? And so here, living here in this Mary Kay pink bubble, it takes some time to get used to. Like, there are literally no limits here. Like, I did not say, oh, you know, your wildest dream that you think you could do, you know, with, I mean, like, I didn't put any limitations. I said your wildest dreams. And so it takes a while before you become reconditioned to dreaming without any limits. And it's totally okay, you guys. It's going to take a while. But I want you to know that you're going to hear people in non-Mary Kay culture say things like, oh, I'm going to replace all my income with Mary Kay. And you're like, how are you going to do that? And everybody's going, yeah. Well, they've been in Mary Kay a little bit longer, that they understand, wow, this is really a possibility. Or you could say something like, I'm going to pay for my son's college with my Mary Kay business. And pretty soon, you're going to be saying, yeah, you can. And you're going to be believing with her. You're going to be dreaming with her. And you know how to do it, you guys, because you did it as a kid. You see, as a child, we dreamt without any limits. And through Mary Kay, you're going to remember what it was like to be a kid. You're going to remember what it's like to dream without limits and how big of a dreamer you actually were. And truly How big of a dreamer you truly still are till this day. It's in there. You just need some reconditioning. And I'm not talking about like pie in the sky dreams without any tangible plans or any accountability. Your Mary Kay business will have plans. It will have milestones. It will have a cadence of accountability. And it'll have a way for you to track your progress and experience real growth if you treat it like a business. And that's what we're going to talk about next. How can I get reconditioned so that I don't limit myself, my thinking, and my dreaming? And I'm going to start by giving you my 3 secrets to success. And I know you're thinking, boy, am I so happy I'm taking this class right now, because Auri on class number 1 within the first 10 minutes is about to give me her 3 secrets to success. And so here they are. Number 1 secret. Are you ready? Number 1 secret. There are no secrets. Oh my gosh. I have never had somebody ask me, hey, Auri, can you teach me this? I'm like, oh, no, girl, like that. I can tell you anything else, but that I can't tell you. That's like my little secret. Like, it doesn't exist in the Mary Kay world. Like, there are no secrets. I'm going to tell you exactly how to be successful. I've poured hours into dumping my brain into a manual for you. We're not holding anything back from you. Mary Kay said that if you have an idea and I have an idea and I tell you mine and you tell me yours, now we both have 2 great ideas. So really, this premise behind our success, that there's this catch, or you have to have the right this or the right approach or the right, it doesn't exist. There are no secrets in our Mary Kay business, okay? And so today, I just want you guys to know that I am simply a reflection of the successes of other women in my Driven National area. That's it. So if I didn't teach them how to have a successful business, you guys, I wouldn't be successful today. And so if I kept the secrets, whatever that means, to myself, they wouldn't be successful and I wouldn't be successful. So there are no secrets, okay? There's no secret sales ideas. There's no secret recruiting tips. There's literally no easy button. No easy button. There's no easy button, okay? All right, secret number 2. Secret number 2. The Mary Kay way works. The Mary Kay way works. What does that mean? You don't need to invent the Maria way and the Beth way and the Christy way or the Alex way. You just need to follow the Mary Kay way. It's like that simple. It works as a proven system for over 50 years. Thousands of women who have come before you have experienced extreme success. So what does that mean? When your director gives you a system for success and she says, this is what worked for me, you're just going to say one word. Okay. You can say another few words. I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Instead of saying, oh, that's a really good idea, but I don't think that's going to work for my friends and family, I'm going to go do something else. Okay. And so here's really the secret to secret number 2. It's called trust the process. You guys, I talked about that a lot. That trust is the foundation of the success of an organization. So if you don't trust the process, it's going to be really hard for you to have success. Trust those that have gone before you. The very baseline of our organization is trust. So if you don't trust your leader, it's not going to work out. You guys, I struggled with this when I first started my Mary Kay business because I didn't think that what Daisha said was going to work for me. I was like, gosh, I don't know if that's going to work for my coworkers. You know, these are really smart women in the actuarial department where I used to work, and I don't know if that's going to work for me. But then I said, you know what? But I would trade places with her. I want her life. So I did exactly what she said because I thought I'd rather do what she says and fail and then say, hey, I did exactly what you said and failed, then change it, and then it didn't work and I failed just for being distrustful. And so I just decided to copy the cat. And boy, did I ever copy the right cat. Okay, so secret number 3, work the numbers. Work the numbers. Every business owner learns to work the numbers, and yours is going to be absolutely no exception. If you had a pizza shop, you need to know exactly how many pies you need to sell today to break even, okay? If you owned a school, you know exactly how many students you need to enroll in order to break even, have an improvement budget for next year, and save for a rainy day. And you will have those numbers for your business as well too. Now, if you don't get those numbers for your business, you actually don't have a business, you have what's called a hobby, okay? So every business owner must learn to work the numbers. You know, if I have a doctor's office, I know exactly how many appointments I need to have on the schedule so that X amount holds, so that I see X amount of income from copays and from insurance payments, okay? And your director is gonna be teaching you all of the tracking and all the numbers. And so perhaps you're wondering, okay, how is it that my director is doing all this stuff? She seems so busy. Can I call her? Can I reach out to her? And the answer is yes, yes, yes. She's your business coach. Actually, the more you reach out to her, the more money you're gonna make, okay? So who do directors work with? Okay, I wanna tell you that there are 2 groups of people directors work with. Number 1, they work with new people. Well, you're like, I'm new. How long am I new for? You're new for about 6 to 8 weeks, if you want to write that down next to new people. And they also work with key people, okay? And let me tell you the definition of a key person. A key person does a few things, 4 things. They attend meetings. They attend their weekly success meeting, okay? They hold appointments. They're at their Mary Kay events. And they're on training calls that your director does on training calls. And I want to remind you, our love is unconditional, but our time is not. Our love is unconditional, but our time is not. We love you all the same. We don't love anybody more because, oh, she brought us cupcakes for our birthday, or she's super cute, or I like the same music as her, so I'm gonna like her more. No, we love you all exactly the same. We have to choose who we're gonna invest our time into. And so your sales director is not only a beauty consultant, but she's also in charge of training her entire organization and your team. And so Mary Kay teaches us not only to keep our customer base and to still service our customers, but to work with the new and to work with the key. And key people show up in order to go up. And I know that you know this. And when you show up to your meetings and you show up on conference calls and you show up at career conference, then your director knows, hey, this girl's serious. This girl, she means business. And then she knows that she can invest in you. Okay, so I want you to be that girl. I want you to be the one that shows up. I want you to be the one who tracks. I want you to be the one who makes her dreams come true, okay? And so I'm going to give you 4 habits for success. 4 habits for success. Number 1, this is a business. Treat it like a business. Number 1, this is a business. Treat it like a business. If you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. Before Mary Kay ever paid for my mortgage and my dreams, I pretended it was my full-time job, even though I already had a full-time job. Actually, when I became a Mary Kay beauty consultant, I became a better employee because on the weekends I would hold parties and I would track and I saw how much money I was making per hour. And I realized that every time I worked overtime at my job because I was a salaried employee, I was like, they're not paying me an extra $60 to $75 an hour for every hour I stay here. They can't afford me. I'm going to get to work at 8. I'm going to be super diligent, and I'm going to leave at 5. And boy, did I become the most diligent employee ever because they were not going to keep me a second after 5 o'clock. There was no idle chit-chat, no breaks. I just worked. At 5 o'clock, I was out of there. And so when I got to work, I got my work done, and I left at 5 to go work on my dreams, okay? So you want to work the numbers because had I not worked the numbers, you guys, I wouldn't have known how much I was worth, okay? So treat it like a business. It'll pay you like a business. Number 2, this is a business. I will return your calls if you will return mine. And this is your sales director talking to you. I will return your calls if you will return mine. You guys, when you don't return your sales director's calls, this is called the shame and hide game, okay? So you feel really bad because you haven't done what you told you were going to do. And then when your director calls you, you don't want to tell her that you didn't do what you were going to do and you feel bad. And so you also don't want to lie to her, make up some emergency situation or take a situation that did happen and make it seem bigger than what it was. So then you go, I'm just not going to return her call. But then because you didn't return her call, you feel guilty going to the weekly success meeting. And then because you feel guilty that you didn't go to the success meeting, then you don't want to call her then. And then she's texting you, you're like, I don't know what to do. But now you lack motivation because you're living in shame. Okay, and you haven't gone to your meetings to get pumped up, and you're missing community with your other beauty consultants, and now you are losing your motivation, and now you're no longer holding appointments, and now you're thinking a lot about Mary Kay, knowing that you could be really good at it, but you live in shame. And I'm going to tell you guys, it takes a lot of courage to call back your Mary Kay sales director and tell her the truth. It takes courage to tell the truth. And so once again, the baseline for a healthy relationship, a healthy working relationship and healthy organization is trust. You have to trust her enough to tell her the truth and just say, oh my gosh, I didn't really want to answer your call because I didn't do what I said and I'm so ashamed. Like, that takes courage, you guys, and I'm going to ask you to be courageous. So commit to return her calls no matter what, because she has your best interest at heart. She is here as your success guarantee. She is your seal of success in this business. And have the courage to let her know, hey, I fell short. Can you help me? What do you think she's going to say? Oh, I have no idea what that feels like because I've had a perfect Mary Kay career. Sorry. No, she's going to be like, girl, I've been there before. You think your director was the perfect consultant? No, she was a great consultant, but not the perfect consultant. She's been there. She's like, oh, I remember those days. I didn't want to take my director's call. I didn't know how to tell her I hadn't done what I said I was going to do. So she's been there. But I'm going to tell you what your sales director will do for you that other people will not. She's going to lift you up to higher ground. So this is a business. I will return your calls if you return mine. Number 3, this is a business. I will match my time with your efforts. I will match my time with your efforts. I will match my time with your efforts. The more you put in, the more you get out. And that's super simple. Your director loves effort. A for effort. Effort is like one of my absolute favorite things on this planet. I don't care how cute she is. I don't care how much potential she has. I can't stand potential. I don't care how many contacts she has. None of that matters. I want to tell you what I want. Effort. A for effort. One of my favorite quotes of all times is from former President Theodore Roosevelt, and it's from his famous speech, The Man in the Arena, and I want to read it to you. And I'm going to rename it The Woman in the Arena. And he was a boxing fanatic, so this is about boxing. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, but there is no effort without errors and shortcomings, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotion, who spends himself or herself in a worthy cause, who at best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if she fails, at least she fails while daring greatly, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat. So I want to tell you, there is something so awesome about effort, about valiantly trying, even though you come short, even though you err. You'll never be with those cold and timid souls who never knew victory or defeat because they just sat on the sidelines and criticized people. You're in the game. You're in the arena. And you guys own that. Absolutely own that. Okay, number 4 success tip. This is a business. If you want to be successful, training is essential. If you want to be successful, training is essential. I'm preaching to the choir here because you're taking this course, so you already know how valuable training is. Think about how elevated and how different you feel right now than you did before we started, before the day had hit you, before you sat down. I want you to think about what this training has already done to you emotionally. Have you already felt transformed? A transformation in your mind and in your thoughts? Has your perception changed? Exactly, of course it had, and that's the value of ongoing training. You know, people ask, well, how long do I have to go to training for? I'm like, well, I'm still in training. It has been 13 years, you know. I love the training. I'm always growing. And I know that attending your director's weekly success meeting is not a requirement for you to have a business, a Mary Kay business, or to be a beauty consultant. And you're the boss. You're the CEO. You're the president of your own company. And you could do whatever you want. However, I've never seen someone make significant amount of income with their Mary Kay business who did not consistently assist her weekly success meeting. So I highly recommend that you attend your weekly success meeting every single week. Okay, and one more habit for success, and that is to be positive. Be positive. A positive attitude is absolutely key. I want you to know that being positive does not mean that you live in false harmony. I'm not talking about like Pollyanna, like everything's hunky-dory, even though you're like, I really can't get an appointment to hold, okay? That is not what I'm talking about here. So if things are not going right, don't just sit there and clap your hands and bop your head and say, oh, there must be something wrong with me because everyone else is doing so great. I'm just going to stay positive and I know things are going to turn around. That doesn't actually work. It's great that you're staying positive, but you need to reach out, okay? If you're going through something, say something. You need to talk to your Mary Kay sales director. Again, you know, talk to her, but that doesn't mean that you're negative. That means that you're going to be positive. Don't just throw up on her. And there's a difference between, Tasha, I'm so exhausted of getting cancellations, and I know that this just isn't going to work for me. I don't even have any idea how you did it, girl. That's negative. Versus, Tasha, I'm hitting a wall. I come to the trainings, and I've been following your booking steps, and my cancellation rate is high. Can you help me? So you tell me, who do you want to work with? The first person or the second person? And that's the difference. A positive person will come in with ideas. Like when I go to talk to Deja, I said, Deja, I have a situation. I have a few ideas, but I need to know what you think. Do you think these are good, or do you have a totally different idea? That means you're already in problem-solving mode, okay? That doesn't mean you're just dumping on her. And that's the difference, okay? And the last great habit for success that I want to talk about is professionalism, okay? The way you conduct and carry yourself with your appearance, your attitude, your words, your punctuality, and your attendance, that is professionalism. Okay, we're gonna talk about being a professional a lot throughout this course. We're gonna talk a lot about professionalism. So we encourage you to wear your Mary Kay pin everywhere you go. I'm here. I've got my Mary Kay pin on because this brings you business. You want to make sure you look like a beauty consultant that day. Does that mean you need to be totally made up with a full face of makeup? No, but that does mean that you need to be completely polished and groomed. Like, not that you just put on, you know, sweats and a t-shirt and went down to the grocery store, you're like, oh, let me throw on my Mary Kay pin. That's not gonna work, okay? You do need to look professional in a sense, you know, and adequate for the environment that you're gonna be in, okay? And so I know you know about our Mary Kay image, right? And Mary Kay Ash just asked us to do two things. Number one, to be go-good, and number two, to wear skirts. So I think she could have asked us for a million things because our opportunity is so amazing and it's changed so many lives. But she only asked for those two things. So I just want to ask you, have you ever seen a woman like all dressed up, like she's completely decked out, looks gorgeous, and she has a terrible attitude? Like she's just like word vomit written all over her face. I mean, just like terrible attitude. And nothing is probably worse than seeing someone completely dressed up with a bad attitude, because she looks like she doesn't match somehow. Her behavior does not match her attire. She looks like a lady, but she's not behaving like a lady, right? And this is key. It doesn't serve us to be in Mary Kay attire if we're not going to display Mary Kay attitude, right? And so when you put on your physical Mary Kay attire, just remember, hey, I'm putting on my Mary Kay attitude too, okay? Also, it reminds us that when we dress up professionally, we actually have a better attitude and a level of behavior and a better level of performance. I remember when I was in high school and in college, I would dress up on test days so that I would perform better. I don't know if any of you knew that. And we did wear uniforms to my school, but I would actually wear my nicer uniform and do my makeup and just different little things like that that make a difference for your performance, okay? So that's why we ask you to wear your Mary Kay uniform to your weekly success meeting, because do you remember what it felt like the first time you walked in and you saw these women in suits? I remember I was like, oh wow, they're really professional. Like, I was impressed. And then I felt underdressed in my jeans and my flip-flops, you know? And so we only have one opportunity to make a first impression. And this is why we wear a skirt suit and our jacket with our white shirt and either our closed-toed or peep-toed shoes to our Mary Kay meetings, because we have one opportunity. And so you drag your cousin to the meeting because you're like, please, I just need your support. Please come and help me. And she comes. And she comes in with her arms crossed. And she's like, I'm only doing this because, you know, I love you. And she walks to the door and she sees all these women in suits. And now she's like, oh wow, these women are nice, right? You see all these professional women who are happy and huggy and cheery. And so we want to play a part in that. We want to represent. We want everybody to be proud of us as well too. And so I wear the same thing to my weekly success meeting every week. You just need one. And so the way you dress for your meetings is extremely important, but also, you guys, it's extremely important that we dress professionally to our Mary Kay parties. So what do you wear to your parties? Okay, this has always been a question. You can just wear what you wear to your meetings, to your parties with your Mary Kay name badge, but we do have a beautiful Mary Kay beauty coat, and I have mine here. And I'll just show you what I'm wearing, because I'm wearing a shirt with a black skirt, okay? And then I've got my flats on. Let me just take them off so you can see them. These are professional flats that look really adorable, okay? And so I wear my flats because, you guys, we carry a lot of bags to our parties. And if you're in heels carrying bags, most women will say, oh, I don't know if I can do what she's doing, you know, especially if they're past a certain age. I'm going to tell you, if I saw a 20-something-year-old chick walk in with heels and all those bags, I'd be like, good for her. But I'm not going to follow that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you look duplicatable at all times. And so if you want to get a Mary Kay beauty coat, they're available to you on MK Connections. You look super professional because you're in a coat. And so really, when you think about it, you've let people who you did not check out their credentials put a needle in your mouth and in your arm who are wearing coats just because they were wearing a coat. Like a coat, if you think about it, isn't that funny? When you wear a coat, it makes you look professional right away. And so I easily would just throw this right over my skirt. Now, I do want to say something. This is not a dress. You do have to wear a dress or a skirt under it. And this is not a tunic. It's not to be worn with tights. Okay, so if you wear tights, make sure you're still wearing a skirt or dress, and then your Mary Kay beauty coat goes over it. Okay, so it's important that we look professional. All right, so all right. Okay, so now that we have our minds ready and straight about our attitude and success, and that this is a business, and about dreaming and not setting any limits, about our vision, about who our coach is, about the honesty we have to have with her, let's start digging in here into the main event. The majority of our time, the next 5 weeks, will be spent talking about income producing activities, and these are called IPA. So when I say IPA, your brain automatically goes income producing activity, and there's just 4 of them, and you're going to write these down in your manual. It is book in present tense, coach in present tense, sell in present tense, and recruit in present tense. Book, coach, sell, recruit. Book, coach, sell, recruit. That's it. Real simple, okay? And they all make you money, which is why they're called income producing activities. And each week we're going to have a class on one topic. One on book, one on coach, one on sell, one on recruit. And I will keep them in present tense. It's not booking, it's book. We're going to book, okay? And so there's also going to be one other class on how to manage your time and how to manage your money, okay? And this is important because you're going to have more money, and you're going to have to find a way to make more time so that you can make more money. And I am an efficiency girl. I don't know if any of you are an efficiency girl. Like, I love efficiency, anything that'll make anything faster. Like, I am all about that, okay? And so as an efficiency girl, I just want you to know that whatever the fastest way is to get something done, like, I am all about that. So if you're like me, you don't have a lot of time, and you need to get the best book out of your time with your Mary Kay business. And in the financial world, because I have a minor in finance, this is called ROI, return on investment. To get your highest ROI, you want to focus on capitalizing on IPAs. And the place that you get the most IPAs is at your skincare parties, at your skincare class, okay? So this is what we're going to focus on for 5 weeks, is a skincare class. Now, continuing with our theme of honesty here, I need you to trust me here, okay? I need you to be honest with me again. And just answer this question. Are you scared to do a skincare class? Just be honest. It's okay if it's yes. Okay, so if it's yes, okay. And you like walk into the class and you just say, dear God, please just let me survive. Just let me survive. Please, please, if I could just get through. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do first. And you're just like, please just help me. Okay, if that's you. All right. So, because you're scared, right? You're like, what's going to happen? What if they ask me a question? I don't know what to say. You're just freaked out, right? Okay, so this is what I want to say. What you see depends a lot upon what you're looking for. You're like, Auri, what does that mean? What you see depends a lot upon what you're looking for. What does this mean? If you are looking to survive a party and you're praying to God to survive a party, I promise you, you will survive. No one in the history of Mary Kay has ever died at a Mary Kay party, okay? Just, if you're praying for survival, looking for survival, you're going to survive. Your customers are not going to end your life, I promise you, or whatever else you're imagining, okay? I promise. However, if that is the vision you have when you arrive at your party, you're probably leaving your parties with less than stellar results. Sounds about right? And whatever you get out of the party, you're like, okay, it's just over. Yeah, that was great. Okay, so what you see depends a lot upon what you're looking for. And I'm going to teach you what you're looking for when you walk into a party. When you walk in, you're looking for your greatest ROI, your greatest return on investment. Because this is where, okay, you guys, this is where you're gonna rack up your income producing activities. This is where you're gonna rack up your IPAs. So we're gonna draw the perfect skincare class. In your box, in the middle, you're gonna put 3 + 3 + 3. There will be a word above each 3, and there will be a word below each 3 for those of you that are like, this has got to look perfect in my manual. Okay, so you're gonna write 3 + 3 + 3, and there will be a word above it, and there will be a word below it. Okay, all right, so let's turn to the first 3. On the first 3, okay, the word above the 3 is going to be sell. Okay, sell. And below the 3, you're gonna put miracle sets. Miracle sets. The next one, above the 3, you're gonna write book. And below the 3, you're going to write second dates. Second dates are also known as second appointments, mineral makeovers, collar follow-up. And then the next one, above the 3, you're going to write the word complete. And then below the 3, you're going to write marketing surveys. Complete 3 marketing surveys. All right, so your box should look something like that. Sell 3, book 3, complete 3. Okay, if you do a facial, that's just one person. I forgot to say this. If there's 2 women there, that's called a double facial. If there's 3 or more, that's a party. Now, it's 3 or more new. So if the hostess has already been facial, she does need to have 3 new friends for it to be considered a party. Otherwise, it's a double facial. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that when you walk into a party, if there's 3 people, you're going to leave there selling 3 miracle sets, booking 3 second dates, and completing 3 appointments. And what you see depends a lot upon what you're looking for. Now that you know what you're looking for, you know exactly what it is that you're going for, okay? Vision without action is just a daydream. Action without vision is just passing the time, and action with vision will change your life. We're going to put the vision with the action. We're not just going to do action randomly. You guys, that is not going to get you results. I need action with a vision, and I'm going to give you a very clear vision. If there's 4 people, it'll be 4 plus 4 plus 4. If there's 5, it'll be 5 plus 5 plus 5, okay? And you guys, this is how I'm going to teach you how to work your business. That when you have a party that equals a huge return on investment, high IPAs, lots of income producing activities, okay? So how about when I don't feel excited about my Mary Kay business already? Like, what if I am just not excited right now? I don't feel like holding parties. I don't know what to do. I've lost my motivation. Or I'm excited now, but what about then when I'm not as excited, or I feel frustrated, or I'm in crisis mode? Okay, we're going to talk about the emotional stages of a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And we're going to discuss my favorite word in the English language. Are you ready? Okay, so there's a circle diagram, and right here, we're going to draw in the consultant life cycle, okay? And at the top at 12 o'clock, you're going to write excitement. Excitement. And this is where you are right now. Oh my gosh, you're so excited. You started your Mary Kay business. You've got the vision about where you can go and what you can do, and you know or you understand how it will all come about. You just know that it will. Nothing's going to stop you. Okay? And once you move from excitement, you'll see that when you go to 3 o'clock, okay, this is called frustration. Frustration has set in because you're adding something new to your life. And there's a thing called a learning curve before you figure out how to do something new with your current circumstances. And maybe things aren't going as fast as you'd like them to. And you of course, you can relate to this. You've probably been there, and you start to get impatient. And, you know, we start to tell ourselves silly things like, oh, nobody wants to buy it, or nobody's going to come, right? Okay, so this is frustration. And for frustration, we go down to 6 o'clock, and this is crisis. This is a crisis point, and I want to talk about this. Things are not looking good, and you even think about throwing in the towel, okay? And you've got to get your head straight in order to work through this. And do you tell yourself that your unit success meeting is the last place you want to go to because you haven't done anything and you're not going to get recognition? Or do you tell yourself, you know what, I need to go to my unit success meeting because that's exactly what I need to get it back together. This is a crisis point, and so this is a point where you're going to have to make a decision. And then at 9 o'clock, you're going to write the word recommit. Recommit. Recommit or recommitment. And you guys, this is my favorite word in the English language, okay? Have you guys ever seen a couple who's been married 50, 60 years? Okay. If you ever have a chance to interview them and you ask them, what do you think it takes to be married 50 or 60 years? And I love doing this class when I'm in an arena and like people can respond. And inevitably, I always get the response of love. Somebody says love. And I'm like, I don't know if you've ever been married if you answered love, because if you have been married, you know it takes more than love. Because when you're married, there's a point in your marriage where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to kill you if you don't run right now for your life. You better run for your life because I'm going to kill you. And if you've been married, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It literally takes more than love. I'm going to tell you what it takes to have a successful marriage. It takes recommitment, not commitment. Commitment is a one-time decision. Recommitment is the act of recommitting again to what you said you were going to do in the first place. And you must recommit every single day to your marriage. And when I look at successful people, I look at people who've had a successful business, they've recommitted. And when I look at people who have successful relationships with their adult children, I mean their children are grown and gone, and they have a successful relationship, I'm like, that took recommitment. When I see someone who has a successful Mary Kay business, it took recommitment. So you have to be willing to recommit, okay? And so recommitment in my world equals success, okay? So when you recommit, it means you've chosen to recover from the situation and you're stronger for it. And you've recaptured your dream and you're excited again. And you're ready for that next opportunity. And one thing is certain, you guys, each time you slip into frustration, you trip back to stage one. Every time, like, because then you recommit and you get excited. You're back up here, right? But every time you go around the cycle, you guys, it gets faster and it gets easier. And this is called bounce back ability. So the first time I failed in Mary Kay, maybe it took me a month to get it back together. But then it only took me like 2 weeks and then a week. And now the same thing that would happen now that happened 13 years ago, I'm like, whatever, who cares? And so your learning curve gets shorter and shorter and shorter with each failure if you're willing to recommit. And that, my friends, is how you become a professional. It's by recommitting and doing it again and again and again. So because Mary Kay knew that we're women and we're just a little bit different than our male counterparts, and she knew we were a little emotional and that we have an emotional cycle, right? She was so smart to know that we need more motivation. So she was such a wise businesswoman that she created 4 events a year, 1 a quarter, for us to go to fill our cup and to get motivated. And so you're going to write these down. The first event that you go to, and by the way, let me just show you the cycle real quick right there in case if you missed it. Okay, the first event that you go to is in January. And if you are a Mary Kay sales director, you get to go to leadership conference where only the leaders are invited, and it's in a city somewhere in the US, and it's awesome. And as a beauty consultant, you get to go to a January jumpstart where you jumpstart your year. And then around March, Mary Kay has what's called Career Conference. So the second event is Career Conference. And it's a Friday night to a Saturday afternoon, and it's usually a weekend in the month of March. And Mary Kay joins us regionally and pours into us, and it's so much fun. So that's Career Conference, the second event. The third event is Seminar, and Seminar is the big show. It's in Dallas, Texas, at our international headquarters. And this is the big one where they give out all the diamond rings and the diamond bumblebees, and you watch the national sales directors debut and they crown a queen, and they give out the luxury 5-star trips and the big checks, and it's really inspirational. Dreams, you watch them come true, and then dreams are birthed on the seminar stage and in the seminar arena, okay? And then the last event for the year is our National Fall Retreat, or Go Give Retreat. If you're in the Go Give area, Mary Kay has a retreat. And it's in October or in November, or your national sales director has an event for you in October or November, where it's just that time of the year where we need to come together to fill our energy cup so we can get back around that emotional cycle. I want you guys to know that I am not a Wonder Woman, okay? And so I too need to get my cup filled, and I love going to Mary Kay events. And other than when my daughter was born, I've never missed a Mary Kay event in 13 years, thank God. And when I go to these events, I'm able to take a tax-deductible trip, step away from my life, step into the pink bubble for 24 to 48 hours, get my cup filled, get recharged so that I can go again, okay? And so I get to see women cross the stage, you guys, when you go to seminar. And I just think Mary Kay was such a brilliant woman to think about. Like, we need an escape to get out, refill our cup, and come back. And so I think she was so smart. But when you go to these events, guys, you're going to see women who are tall, who are short, who are thin, who are chunky, who are blonde, who are brunette, who are white, who are black, who are Asian. You guys, you're going to see women who are Latinas. You're going to see women who are disabled and in wheelchairs crossing the stage to pick up a diamond ring. You're going to see women with injuries. You're going to see that no 2 women are alike, and no 2 stories are alike. And their success is unique like yours, and their story is unique like yours. And there's only one thing every successful director and every successful consultant have in common, and that is this: determination. Determination. When you're determined and you decide, it is done. So before I give you guys your assignment for this week, I'm going to give you 1 minute to write down your 1-minute takeaway, okay? I really want you to write down your 1-minute takeaway from this class. What was the thing that, wow, Auri, like, this really stood out to me the most? This is really what hit home for me. This is what made it all come together for me today. This is what I love the most. Okay, so I'm going to play the song for just 1 minute, and let's see. Are you so? Oh wait, no, we won't be able to play a song this time. That's okay. But you're going to get time to fill in that box and get your 1-minute takeaway, okay? I'll just count it on my timer. Oh my goodness, I think I lost you guys. I'm not sure what I just did. Hopefully you guys can see me and hopefully you guys can hear me because I don't see you guys. So hopefully you guys can still hear me and see me. Okay, so what's your 1 minute takeaway? All right, here we go. If one of my directors can just text me, that would be great, okay? Just to let me know that, yeah, you guys can still see me even though I can't see you. That would be, okay, good, I'm good, perfect. Okay, so your assignments for this week, here we go. Number 1, you're gonna take, and this is right now before you go to bed, you're gonna pull out your calendar and you're gonna put in all the Mary Kay events for this year into your calendar right now for the upcoming year. Every single Mary Kay event, career conference, seminar, you're gonna find out from your national. If you're in my area, it's August 1st through the 4th. If you're in my area, our national advance is October 27th through 28th in Orlando, Florida. We don't have dates yet for January Jumpstart, but it's usually the first Saturday of the month. I need you to put that in your calendar, and you're gonna put in your weekly success meeting every single week into your calendar, because if you don't plan for it, guess what? Your plan will fail. Number 2, you're gonna complete your weekly accomplishment sheet. The week will end on Saturday. So starting on Sunday, you can submit your weekly accomplishment sheet to me from the prior week, okay? And so Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, I'm taking weekly accomplishment sheet entries. If you do not see my name at the end when you go to submit, please email our office, okay? And then number 3, there's only 3 parts to your assignment, okay? Number 3, each day, I want you to visit your imagination. You will visit yourself at your parties. And at your parties, you're gonna watch yourself book 3 NACO, second dates, sell 3 miracle sets, and complete 3 surveys or more, okay? And every time you think of Mary Kay this week, every single time you think of Mary Kay, I want you to immediately do this exercise. I want you to envision yourself at a party doing 3 + 3 + 3. This is a very simple exercise. I know it's very simple, but it's actually not easy. You will need to trust the process, and you will have to not doubt, you guys, and focus on that extra large dream that you wrote down at the very beginning. The dream you wrote down when you had a vision, that bigger than what you were permitting yourself to the first time. And I want you to step into that. Every single time you think about Mary Kay, you're gonna see yourself walk into a party and walk out with 3 + 3 + 3. That is the only thing I want you to envision. And I wanna close with this quote. Remember, we're not going towards our dreams, we're coming from our dreams. That is how dreams come true. Champions write their victory speech before the battle is won. Live in your vision, not in your reality. Happy vision hunting this week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Bye. Thank you guys for watching.